It's often said that it's the little things that matter in life. If you struggle with managing small tasks, tackling bigger challenges will be even more difficult. This principle is at the heart of an inspiring lesson I've learned from Master Shi Hengyi, a respected figure from the Shaolin Temple in Europe. Today, I want to share some of my favorite insights, which you may not have seen. Now, let's focus on the wisdom shared by Master Shi Hengyi. He emphasizes the importance of understanding where you currently stand in life, regardless of your age or where you aspire to go. To truly gauge your position, start by observing your surroundings and reflecting on how you feel about your current way of living. With almost a full year behind you, think about what that time has brought you, what you've gained or lost along the way. This process of self-reflection is akin to navigating a journey. If you want to determine the direction you need to go, you must first know your starting point. The journey is unique to each person. While many may aim for the same goals, the routes taken to achieve them will differ based on individual circumstances. Master Shi Hengyi highlights that personal development is best approached with small, consistent steps. When you embrace gradual changes rather than radical overhauls, you create a more sustainable path for growth. An analogy he uses involves natural disasters, like earthquakes or volcanic eruptions, which lead to rapid transformation but often result in destruction. Therefore, it's wiser to set realistic goals instead of creating unrealistic expectations that could lead to setbacks. To effectively pursue your goals, focus on structuring your daily activities. Prioritize the small steps necessary for your personal growth within your daily schedule. Continuity and repetition are your allies in cultivating new habits. By incorporating small doses of what you want to improve every day, you foster progress over time. Writing down your goals and aspirations can also significantly enhance your manifestation process. It transforms fleeting thoughts into tangible plans, giving them a physical shape. This can be achieved through writing, speaking your ideas aloud, or sharing them with others. Such expressions of thought can help solidify your intentions and encourage you to take action. For instance, even writing a few bullet points on your refrigerator as reminders can have a significant impact. This practice might seem trivial, but if you can't manage the small things, how can you expect to handle larger challenges? At times, Master Shi Hengyi draws parallels with practices like Qigong, which blends gentle movement, breathing exercises, and often calming music. But he cautions that reliance on music for peace indicates an external dependence. True inner peace must come from within, demonstrating that developing skills takes time, patience, and practice. In addition to techniques like self-affirmations, it is crucial to regularly test yourself against your ambitions and goals. You must ensure that the self-image you cultivate aligns with your true situation in life. Otherwise, you risk drifting into unrealistic fantasies. Master Shi Hengyi often shares his thoughts and ideas internally before implementing them. He reflects deeply on what potential paths might unfold from each idea and evaluates how they align with his community's goals. This reflective process allows him to plan ahead effectively. The ultimate goal is to translate intentions into action. If obstacles arise, he emphasizes the importance of not shying away from them, but instead actively working to overcome them. Trusting in this process, he believes that with clear intentions, ideas will manifest into reality. Thank you for allowing me to share these valuable lessons from Master Shi Hengyi. Whether we work to stay present or free ourselves of expectations and attachments, or free ourselves of the past and thoughts of the future, it all comes to a head in one basic action: not engaging our thoughts. It is our thoughts and feelings, our ego mind, that pull us away from the present and from a state of peace, happiness, and contentment. We cannot stop our thoughts. They arise with astonishing rapidity. We know that even the Buddha continued to have thoughts and feelings. What we can control is whether we engage those thoughts or whether we just acknowledge them and allow them to subside. There are several steps to this process. First, one has to be aware of a thought arising, which requires mindfulness. If we go through our day, distracted by all the things going on in our lives and around us, then we will not be aware of the thought arising, and the opportunity of not engaging it is lost. So first, be mindful as much as you can throughout the day. Get in the habit of observing yourself and your mind. Second, if you are aware of a thought arising, your ego mind will be pushing you to engage it, which is why the thought arose to begin with. And we know how strong and wily the ego mind is. Even if you have surrendered your ego to your true Buddha nature and turned your will and your life over to your true Buddha nature, your ego still remains part of you, just waiting for an opportune moment, a weakness, to arise and regain its hold on you. It will use every trick in its book to get you to discard a spiritual approach to the matter and engage the thought. The ego is great at belittling spirituality and meditation, of voicing doubts, appealing to what you really want. Third, against the barrage of the ego, your task is to be aware of what your ego mind is doing and not engage the thought. But don't try to white-knuckle the push of the ego. That won't work. It will just make the ego's drive stronger, nor do you want to negate your thought. It comes from a part of you. Instead, what you want to do is diffuse the thought or feeling. If it's an innocuous thought, something that is just distracting you from being present, a friend of mine taught me to gently say, thinking, to stop your thought and bring yourself back to the present. What you're telling your ego mind is that there is a time and place when thought is appropriate. Thought to plan things, for example. But this is not the time. The ego mind is not so invested in these types of thoughts, and I've found this technique works. But if it's the kind of thought or feeling that pushes your buttons, you need to acknowledge it and have compassion for where it's coming from. Do not fight it. Do not run from it. Whether it's a thought about the past or the future, it all comes from the past. That is the seedbed for the ego mind. So while acknowledging the thought and having compassion, be firm in saying that the past is past. The present is a new moment. Each day is a new day, and feel confident that if you live each day well, the future will take care of itself. Acknowledge that you have worked hard and laid good plans. But if things don't work out, you know that all will be well regardless, and you will maintain your peace and happiness because you practice non-attachment. What will be will be. Recently, I had occasion to put this teaching to practical use. I was about to leave on an extended vacation trip, and as usual, I started worrying about all the things that could go wrong, and I started coughing, almost gagging at times. That's how nervous I would get. This was a familiar pattern for me. I tried using all my tools. I watched my breath. I tried to be present. I knew these thoughts were just illusions, but this time, the feeling inside me wouldn't subside, and it was so strong that I actually got scared. It felt like I was losing control of myself. I acknowledged the fear that I felt, and the insecurity that was its source, and I had compassion for it. And following the lessons noted in an earlier posting on freeing yourself from fear, I said that that is the past. The present is fresh. I felt confident that I had planned well, but that even if problems occurred, my spirituality would enable me to deal with things as they arose and maintain my peace and happiness. I truly had faith that if I lived each moment, each day well, the future would take care of itself. The nightmare scenario was only in my mind. It was not reality. And would you believe, I immediately stopped coughing and being nervous. And indeed, for the entire duration of the trip, although I had some tense moments, I quickly brought myself back and had a relaxing, enjoyable trip. My true Buddha nature is confident and secure. I know that. But rarely has that confidence and security been allowed to see the light of day by my ego mind. I was so thankful to Master Shi Heng Yi. I have continued this approach. Each morning when I am present in the moment while meditating, I am aware that there is no yesterday, no tomorrow, no today, just the present moment. This is the only reality. All else is thought. And as I savor the moment, I am aware of any feelings or sensations that I have at that moment. If fear is present in any form, I practice acknowledgement and compassion towards it while confirming the present and my faith.